So we'll just wait for the big clock on the wall to.
Good evening and attention all stations. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. It is there's wishful thinking. It's January 13th. It's now 7 p.m., which means it's time to kick off the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net, the Tuesday evening edition. I'll be your host tonight, VA3IMW. My name is Mike Alpha Charlie, situated here on the West Mountain. So, without further ado, we'll take a quick standby for any time-sensitive mobile or priority traffic stations. Okay, nothing there. So we'll open it up to anyone with a valid call sign. All licensed operators are encouraged to check in and share with us what's going on in your radio world and other things of that nature. Anyone, anywhere, come on in, say hi. Just also a quick note, we are live streaming on YouTube, and you can look up my call sign VA3IMW and search for the live tab there. You'll find us right there. And without further ado, come on in with check-ins for tonight's net.
Hey, Brad Bell. Go for number one, Mac.
There you go, Val. You're number one with a bullet. Sounded good tonight. And what's Val been up to over the last day or so?
Called the boss today and getting bored. I'm back to work, so I don't know. I kind of always do. I don't know. So let me know what happens. I'm ready. So, is what it is. See where it ends up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. You know, I think at this point, if I didn't have the regular workaday world to face, I think I would be bored as well. You know, especially in the wintertime, right? There's not a lot of outdoor activities that I want to do. I'm not one that really loves being out in the cold, but it always is good to have a good routine. Helps you keep your meals on schedule, and the money doesn't hurt either. But all good on you. Just make sure that before he starts ringing the bell, maybe you want to practice a regime of getting up and going and doing things, and just so that you're not totally wiped out after 2 days of work.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm getting bored out of my freaking mind right at the moment. You got some burn houses coming up, so can't wait for that. It's worth the work, everyone, but I don't know. Getting up early, that's part that bugs me. No matter what time I go to bed, I see 5 o'clock and I lay there, hoping for the best. Maybe get 6, but never happens.
Yeah, now you can imagine what Garnett goes through, right? He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning for all his working years, and he still gets up in the middle of the night, right? So by the time we see the light of day, he's already got 3 cups of coffee in and already has had his breakfast.
Oh yeah. I haven't been on the damn frequency in so long. I keep hooking this, killing the VHF repeater and hooking that up to my mobile here. How's Garnett doing? You hearing from him?
Yeah, he's doing good. We chatted, I guess Monday night. He was out with Dave, and usually he goes out Monday evening with the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club guys for coffee at 8 p.m. They usually meet at McDonald's at Rymal and James Street. So, yeah, he's up and about. A little worse for wear, but he's still chunking along.
There you go. Did you hear from Bill? Is Bill around? How's he doing? Anybody know?
We're kind of wondering where Bill is ourselves. He's disappeared again. So I'm thinking it's been a week and a little bit since we've heard from him. I hate to chase the guy down all the time, but you know, when you get to this point in life, when people disappear, you get concerned, right? How many people have you all of a sudden lost contact with, only to find out that you've completely lost contact with them?
Yeah, I hear you there, man. All right, I'll turn it back to Ned. Continue on. Do your thing. VA3CJZ.
All right, thanks for your check-in, Al. Certainly appreciate it. You're number one. And your signal report to my station was a nice solid S9. Great job there. VA3BT checking in from Barrie on YouTube, waving a hand. Trust everything is going well for you in Barrie. Some mild temperatures and trust. Getting close to having that building dried in. Anyways, certainly appreciate the check-in there, Albert. Now we'll stand by for any RF check-ins. VA3IMW, standing by on behalf of the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Okay, surge boat, Sierra Mike November in CJZ. So, Matt, we'll take you first.
Super duper. Across the mountain east, so I'm glad you got me first, because by the time I'm second, I might be at a radio range. But here I am. Hello, everyone. And in case I don't catch you before the end and I get home, that's me also. VA3SMN, back to net control.
All right, very good. Yep, yeah, quick one and done. It's nice for you to wave a hand, check in, and through your call, sign in the log. I hope you have a productive day and a more relaxing evening. A non-productive evening. All right, anything else for the net, Matt?
Well, that's all for me for tonight. I'll get on YouTube as soon as I get home and say hello again to those online. And I'll be...
Thanks so much. Drive safely and make sure that you pay attention to the ones that aren't. And let's bring in Chuck, VA3CJZ.
VA3CJZ. Good evening, Mac, and all on net. Pretty rough last couple of last 24 hours, I should say. It turns out I have some very, very disappointing news. My brand new radio has to go to Yazoo, California. Turns out that after I did the firmware last night, after the net, I found the radio wasn't working properly. And I just started streaming Rick's net. And then I ended up stopping it abruptly. And turns out that the firmware has affected some, but not all, Yazoo Optima radios. And what it does is it bricks the amplifier portion of the radio and no longer recognizes it. So they're going to take it in at Yazoo and re-flash it. So the guy said, no worries, there's nothing that you did. You didn't do anything wrong. He says, we'll have it shipped here and re-flashed, no charge. And yeah, still, it's probably going to go on a slow pony from here to California. And then however long it takes for them to get to the actual radio, and then ship it back. So I'm hoping 2, maybe 3 weeks, tops. But yeah, it's going to be going. Now, I only found out that it does this to some radios after I did some research last night. I was scratching my head, and I found a couple of spots that mentioned it. Of course, had I known that before, I wouldn't have done the upgrade.
So what was the allure of the firmware update? Was there functions that it unlocked, or was there, you know, some other issues that it was supposed to overcome? You know, system flaws that they had corrected in the firmware upgrade, or you know, what was it that drew you towards having to install the upgrade?
Well, Mac, I can't remember all of the bug fixes, but there were a handful, if not more than a handful of bug fixes. And so if the radio is not working at its full optimum capacity, then yeah, for sure. So if you're going to say, I told you so, you shouldn't have upgraded it if you didn't need it, well, thanks, Mac.
No, that's not me. 100%, that's not me. Obviously, if the firmware has bug fixes in it, those are important, and there's a good reason to get those installed. But no, I'm not one of those "I told you so" guys. So not to worry from that standpoint. But I gotta say, it's good news that they're paying shipping and handling and all the rest of that stuff. I've heard other people that have had issues with Yazoo, and although radio's still under warranty, the Yazoo representative said, well, yeah, it's under warranty. All you have to do is ship it to us, right? So you end up paying the FedEx and the insurance on the shipment and all the rest of that stuff. So if they've arranged for the freight to be covered and all the rest of that stuff, that's good news.
Yes, that part had me up during the night last night. The amount of money that I spent on this radio, and that's just the radio that I bought, nothing else yet with it, I was quite worried. I'm still very nervous about it. And once I get it back, plug it in and turn it on, then my blood pressure will go down. Now, I also found out that Yazoo had known about this since November, which is when the actual new firmware upgrade came out. And so I'm surprised they didn't have any warnings anywhere on the firmware instruction page that they have you look at before doing everything. There are certain procedures you got to follow. Reset the radio, do this, do that. And so, yeah, they know about it, and that's why they're paying for it.
There you go. Yeah, there's the guy that has the 991 out there that something went wrong and it was under warranty, and they wanted Al to pay the shipping and on the insurance and all the rest of that stuff. Anyways, Al, yep, there's definitely camps for and against the Yazoos. All right, Chuck, I trust that all goes well for you. You still have the 857 in your fleet there, so it's nice that you won't be without a radio. Well, this one is going to the spa.
Yeah, it's still a bugger. I only had it 3 days, and then this happens. I haven't really gotten to enjoy it yet, really. Not fully. So, yeah. Guess I'll just have to wait. Anyhow, Mac, thanks for doing this one. And don't forget, folks, tomorrow night is the AREG Net at 8 p.m. on the simplex frequency of 146.430. I hope to see you all there. Thanks again, Mac. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Bonsoir there, Chucky.
Bonsoir, Al.
Bonsoir. Oh, Yeah, bonsoir to le monde.
There you go, Al. Very good. Keep practicing that French. They'll make you prime minister someday. Anyways, Chuck, just in case not everybody heard you, tomorrow night is the Amateur Radio Exchange Group starting at 8 p.m. By the way, Chuck, you were transmitting on the output of the repeater, which I guess you did just to hear clearly. Anyways, yeah, oopsie. So yes, don't forget to check in with Chucky tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Another wonderful way to spend Hump Day, and you can even take a few minutes to check in with the Burlington Amateur Radio Club on the RSB repeater. And Chris is the host of VA3CJZ, and that kicks off at 7:30. So you warm up the radio at 7:30, and then it's smoking hot for the A-Reg. All right, thanks again, Chuck, and that clears the end of my list unless you have anything further. I guess that's a no. All right. So let's see if we can track a couple of more check-ins here. It's Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey on behalf of the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Come on in and say hi.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot Portable. Good evening there, Mac.
Good evening, Vern. VA3CRF, you sound like you're doing a fine job standing on top of the picnic table in the park with your hair and your right arm pointed towards the north. Come on back in. How you doing?
Yeah, you pretty much pegged it there, Mac. I gotta always check where I am standing and make sure that I've got a good path to the future. Good copy on you. Yeah, just out for a walk. As I headed out, it's +3, but it is quite windy. Winds are gusting between 30 and 50, and making it feel a little bit colder than it is. Well, a little bit of rain this evening, but basically no precipitation today. None of the white stuff. I know it'll come back eventually, but it's nice to see it gone. Back to you, Mac.
Yeah, and they do say that there's supposed to be a cooling trend towards the weekend. So, yeah, a little reprieve from the cold temperatures, all positive there. But the damp and the windy kind of makes it feel just as cold, right? That damp wind kind of cuts right through you. So I trust you bundled up nice and warm and can stay dry anyways. All right, thank you very much for your check-in tonight. I guess you're counting down the days until you go south.
Break.
Yeah, we are looking forward. Sounds like you had a break in there, Mac.
Yes, we did. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, Chuck. I don't know why the hell I called you Chucky. I apologize for that. It just popped into my head, but sorry. VA3
No worries, Al. I've heard them all before.
You're obviously excited about getting down to Arizona, the warmer climate, and you're counting down the days, no doubt.
Yeah, we're both looking forward to it, and part of it's the lovely weather, part of it's seeing the grandkids, so yeah, we're looking forward to that. Sorry to hear about Chuck's problems with the radio. I don't know, I feel sometimes that's like the luck of the draw, or lack thereof. I have a couple of Kenwoods, mostly Yaesu, and a couple of ICOM radios, and they've all been fairly good. I can't complain. There was only one radio that I purchased. It was a handy that just didn't like the way it worked, wasn't getting into repeaters, and that was the VX6. That was a while ago, long time ago. So I just took it back to Radio World, traded it for something else. But yeah, I hope they can solve that problem for Chuck, and he can get it back up and running again. But yeah, when you drop that amount of money, it is disappointing when something like that happens, no question. Anyway, won't hold you up there, Mac. Appreciate you doing the net. Hope that you have a nice rest of the evening. And I've made a mental note to check into a reg tomorrow. VA3CRF.
All right. Thanks again, Vern. And yeah, I'm sure Chuck will be all ears to make sure he hears you tomorrow night. All right. Thanks again for your check-in. It's Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey on behalf of the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Good evening, Guy. Guy, checking in from Ottawa. Bonsoir. And let's see if we can trap any more RF check-ins. VA3 IMW, stand by. Okay, nothing heard. So special thanks to Albert and Guy checking in on YouTube. And obviously there's a few folks that are conspicuous by their absence tonight. But, you know, radio is priority number 67. So obviously people have other things to do. We'll be back on Thursday evening on the simplex frequency of 446.125. We'll also be live streaming. And then Friday night, we always look forward to the ZOE Ragju at 8 p.m. So other than that, just a quick reminder, the rest of the schedule, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on the ZOE repeater at 7 p.m. and then Thursday on simplex 446.125. And filling in the gaps with Chuck on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, 146.430 at 8 p.m. And let's make this a last call. Let's see if maybe we have some stragglers out there just want to come in and say hi.
Just a quick recheck, Mac. I had to do this. I noticed that you said that radio is priority 6767. VA3CRF, sorry.
Roger that. Okay, thanks, Vern. So, yeah, with that, we'll bring the net to a close. Thanks so much to Terry, VE3IQL, for the use of this fine repeater. Great hopes for that 4-bay antenna being repaired and perhaps some improvements in the better weather. Anyways, thank you all, one and all, for checking in tonight, and I'll be monitoring the frequency for a short while. Other than that, we'll bring the net and the live stream to a close and bid you all 7-3s.
Late but not forgotten, VE3LBI.
Oh, the post last call check-in. Good evening, Larry. How you doing?
Doing okay, Mac. I had to step away for a minute and come back. I was actually listening to Chuck there. I was going to mention, if he's still listening, you may be fortunate that it happened now, not in 6 months or 7 months down the road. So think of it that way. It could be a good positive thing.
Yes, it in fact could be. I'm sure the that will all sink in time. Obviously, the buyer's remorse with something going wrong with after laying out a big chunk of change, that part is certainly the disappointment. And as you well know, Larry, having a firmware update that is fraught with problems talks about some computer code that is not adequately tested, right? So that that's also the problem that Rogers faced with that big system crash that they had. And you know, it's a lesson well learned over and over again that updates and, you know, computer updates and firmware updates have got to be adequately tested to make sure that they are working properly. And obviously, if they knew about issues back in November, I don't understand why they wouldn't have pulled the firmware update off of the web and had it corrected before anybody did further damage to their equipment. But then again, as Al said, I don't have to repeat it. Back to you, Larry. We lost Larry again. Larry fell asleep. You're right. Albert, it happens to the best of us. All right. Replay the net. Okay, you guys are too funny on the YouTube chat. All right, so we'll bid you all 7-3s. Thanks again for everybody's check-in, especially for Larry to come in and cheer us up at the last minute there. 7-3s, one and all. That'll bring the net and the live stream to a close.
Sorry, Mac. I got caught in between two things here. Brenda was on the phone with her daughter, and she has a friend that comes around, and I had to go and tell the friend that she was coming out after she got off the phone. So I did hear most of that, but I had to step away. I apologize.
Not to worry, Larry. Not to worry at all. Thanks for your check-in, my friend. Anything to add before we go?
No, made a batch of ribs, honey garlic ribs for supper, and we had some rice and some broccoli, so it was a good supper.
Okay. And there's probably no leftovers. All right. 7-3s, one and all.
Thanks, Mac. Sorry about that. Anyway, VA3, I'll be clear.